We have a special guest, and I'm glad I was able to get him on the phone here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the one, the only, Doug Betters, former player for the Miami Dolphins, Defensive Player of the Year, now lives in Montana. Former alum, though, we should say, for the Missoula folks from the University of Montana.
Absolutely. Everyone can celebrate this guy's success. Doug, how are you this morning, sir?
Very good, very good. It's warming up here. It's kind of, getting rid of that cold snap that we've all been going through, but looking forward to getting out of here for a little bit next month, but it's all good up now.
Well, I've always told people I'm so blessed to have met you so many years ago up in Whitefish, and Doug used to help on my ESPN show, give me advice. But one of my favorite things that Doug and I would talk about was, of course, the old school days with football. And Doug, you played in the late 70s and the 80s. Football sure has changed, though. The NFL is changing a bit, isn't it?
It has. I mean, a lot has to do with free agency, and I think it was funny that we went through two collective bargaining agreements, and they always labeled us network employees or network entertainers, and that's kind of what what we are. We're a television product, and that product has gotten just huge with pay-per-view and the NFL ticket. So I mean, in the old days, the amount of money that the teams are getting for revenues for TV was like $15 million or something like now. Now I think it's $250 million. Just TV revenues, and then you throw in the gate receipts, and I mean, tickets used to be $30, $40, $75 for a good ticket. Now you can't get in a stadium for under $300 or $400, and Super Bowls or base value on a Super Bowl ticket is like $3,000.
All right,
so
true.
It's just crazy what's going on with that, and of course the player salaries shows that too. I mean, it costs you $20 million for a franchise quarterback, and Dan Marino, our franchise quarterback, was making quite considerably less than that. And
right.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't even close. So it just blew up here, and I think a lot of it had to do with the the TV network money and what's in a kitty, and the players are the game, so they deserve a big portion of it. And,
true.
When you come up with free agency and jumping around from teams, you don't have the kind of cohesion that we had, like your old Pittsburgh Steelers.
Exactly.
Together for a lot of years, and like our Dolphins, I played with the same guys for 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, the Killer Bees defense. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Doug Betters, former NFL player for the Dolphins, also an alum from the University of Montana. And, of course, my Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a big Steelers fan, playing the Dolphins this weekend. And, Doug, I love you. And, Don Shula is one of my favorite, coaches. And can you tell us, like, a cool, quick Don Shula story? I ask you that all the time, but...
Let's see what I can say on the air.
Either or, we got
a guy. Let's put it that way. Don Shula we always were called the Don Shula and the Miami Dolphins, and that wasn't a slip. That was the way it was. He always thought that he had quite an ego, but he has he deserves it. He's one of the most winning coaches in history. But he liked to be the front runner there, and he didn't like to be overshadowed by any players, even somebody as great as Marino came in. But we learned to live with that, and it was as long as we continued to play well for him and win games, he's a great guy. If you didn't play and you embarrassed him, and we'd come in on Monday after a Monday night humiliation and have to listen to. He started out with a team meeting, and he'd get up front and talk about the game, and he would just go up one side, down the other on guys, and just start out the conversation by, "I can't believe you humiliated me like that on Monday Night Football. What the hell are you guys doing to me?"
Ouch.
We're going like, "Hey, Coach, we wanted to win as bad as you did. So we have
Yeah.
to listen to this."
But there's a lot of love and respect for Don from the team, and so I know you guys wanted to win, too, for him.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a given. And even today, everybody wants to win. I mean, it's just so much better than losing. But, you play as hard as you can, and I think Don just was so demanding of that. He just, he didn't take anything less than perfection. And it was one of those things, what have you done for me lately? You could have a great game. You could have a great series of downs. Like you go in there and really light it up, get a couple sacks or whatever the case would be, an interception, and the next possession you let it have a touchdown, and that's all forgotten what you did the series before, the week before. And that's what drove us, and that's what makes you professional. That's what, you don't sit there and like these guys that go crazy after they score a touchdown or get an interception, and I see guys making, going through these their dances after a tackle. I go, "Hey, dude, that guy just got 7 yards on you, and now you're dancing like you made a stop behind the line."
It's so true.
I love hearing it from the old school folks. Yeah.
Celebrate rarely, grind often, and that's kind of what he did.
That's a good saying right there. Now, Doug, since we have you on the phone and it is Wild Card Weekend, I want to run down these games. I want to know who you're predicting to win these games, okay?
Pick the Steelers for me.
You got the Raiders versus the Texans, the very first game. Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, it's going to be tough with Carr going, but the Texans got a tough controversy going on. I got to talk to Osweiler here. Texted him a while back.
Cool.
He's going through hell down there, but
Of course.
he's back in there. So I mean, he's got some reasons to light it up. So
All right, Sunday, your Dolphins, Charene Steelers. Who's got it, Doug?
I mean, those guys. It's the teams have a short memory. And when it comes to the Dolphins got beat them bad and started their winning. They're winning 7 games here with the Steelers, and I think sometimes the guys go down to and see. Steelers went down to Miami, and they go down to the beach and get to see the honeys and all the sunshine and all the stuff that lived the fast life in Miami. And they tend to go out, maybe have a cocktail or something the night before, and don't think so much about the Dolphins, and we're looking pretty terrible. So I think they got snuck up on, and they kind of were. You see, a lot of them were kind of thrown up on the sidelines and stuff. I don't think that was all Gatorade.
Yeah.
Playoff. Who are you picking?
I think they're going to be playing it, and then going up to Pittsburgh and playing at Three Rivers. I mean, I got to do that one game. That first playoff game I played at in '78 was up there in Three Rivers, and that was with Terry and the boys, and we got spanked up there. And unfortunately, and Tannehill's out, and what Ryan's been doing he's been doing a great job. But Moore's a heck of a quarterback for the Dolphins. I think it'll be a good game, but got to get that one to the Steelers.
You're going with Steelers? I love you, Doug. I do have to say, though, did you shake Terry Bradshaw's hand?
He beat us, and so those guys are always very gracious.
After you win, of course.
You're the losers. They gotta go, hey, keep your head up, kid, and one of those things. And I know one thing. We did go to. They had a hot tub in the stadium afterwards, and they were all drinking Busch beer in the hot tub after. We were waiting to go to the bus, so we kind of hang out a little bit longer. That was pretty amazing spectacle to go up there and play those guys and those Hall of Famers and
right.
Young pup. That kind of quite an introduction.
I love hearing that. And the last, if you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Doug Betters, former NFL player for the Killer Bees defense with the Dolphins in the late 70s and 80s, and an alum from the University of Montana. And the last game, Doug.
You got the Giants going into Green Bay, playing the Packers. Who are you taking, Doug?
Well, they got Odell and the boys hanging out in Miami on the beach there. Again, that's another story. See if you all saw the people standing out there in their shirts off. And
that's
their Timberland boots on the yacht. I'm sure the guy that owned the lot was not happy about the boots on his jacket.
That's true.
Yeah, they weren't quite dressed for the day, but I hope they're not getting. They're pretty amazing what those guys do and the formula they pull together in the end of it. But it's Green Bay. That's got to. That's just a tough place to play again. And
True.
I just think Aaron Rodgers has got. He's got the it factor, and I think those guys might have been. They haven't done anything yet, but they're already celebrating. Like we said earlier, grind off and celebrate. When you do something, and they hadn't got anywhere, but the playoffs, and I think it's going to be a short road for the Giants.
Well, Doug,
the G-men might pull one out. I don't know. If anybody can do it, they might. But
I'm going for the Giants, so I think that they're going to upset Green Bay in Green Bay. But we shall see. Doug, I hope we can get out fly fishing sometime soon, or maybe doing something on the water at some point this summer.
Yeah, right now the water's still open behind me. That I'm surprised. Every morning I get up, I'm thinking that thing's going to be covered. It's a little ways away from fly fishing. I saw pictures of Middle Fork the other day.
Yeah.
Ice jams to jet around, but. As crazy as you are about getting your fly wet, man, you'll probably be in the water soon.
I will. Probably in the next few weeks.
You take care of yourself, too, man. You got to go. You got to burn some. You take care of yourself.
I will. I definitely.
Health issues, too.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
You're not Superman. You're not 10 foot tall and bulletproof. I got.
Not like
Take care of yourself.
Well, Doug, and what's I know Doug, by the way, too, is also part of the Doug Betters Winter Classic, which is now named what, Doug?
We call it, our foundation's called For the Children, Inc. We still do it. We have the foundation. We don't do the event right now because we put that on sabbatical. Last summer we did it with Eddie DeBartolo. Got some guys. We had Jerry Rice and Roger Craig and it was Dwight Clark and one of my favorite guys of all time, Ronnie Lott. Those guys all came up and helped us.
Ronnie Lott was there? Ronnie Lott was there? Yeah. Doug, you didn't even tell me. You gotta look up the past the mountain, go past Everett Hill. There's life behind. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think Lott is one of the toughest.
Glacier Park up here too that a lot of people don't know about. But
Get out of here.
We did help out with summertime last year. We put some more money in the bank, but we still have. It's called For the Children Inc. It's MT. For the Children Inc. MT. We're on Facebook and we do still donate. We give money to families in need with pediatric care. We are doing it statewide now, so we do help out Montana, Missoula families. So. If you get on our website or Facebook and look at it, we do. You fill out an application if you need help with non-insurance medical expenses. We don't pay direct medical expenses. We mainly.
Right.
And, we help out people throughout the state. We've been from Plentywood to Superior. We've been helping families all through, and that's something I always wanted to do. We used to do just the Flathead Valley, but now we're statewide, so we're helping families. A lot of Missoula families have been getting help getting up here or getting to Seattle, Denver, Salt Lake City, into the bigger cities when kids are having some major medical issues.
It's tremendous what you do, Doug. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
You guys take care, and go. I'm going to have to say go Pins on the way out.
There you go.
So.
All right. Hey, just wipe out that terrible towel there, Charene.
No, get out of here. I've got so many Steelers gears all over the place, you would be surprised.
Well,
Doug,
I know you'll be watching the game, so enjoy it, and have a great time, guys. Have a great weekend watching NFL football.
you
Thank
too.
you, sir.
Thanks, Doug. We'll talk to you soon.